Hello everyone, TARDIS Guy 123 here, and today we are finally going to be reviewing the 10th planet. Now I'm sorry about the delay with this, but I have finally got on to reviewing it. And yeah, well, next week, as you know, I'm going to be Series 8 starts, and I'm going to be reviewing the episodes on the Sunday afterwards. So this will probably be the last classic review for a while until Series 8 ends. Then I'll continue on as I am at the moment. So yeah, that's that, and the Big Finish reviews and the top 10s will continue on as normal until I run out of Big Finish stories to review. Then it'll just be top 10s and Doctor Who episode reviews. But anyway, enough about the scheduling. Let's talk about the 10th planet itself. And of course, this is William Hartnell's final story, and yeah, it's the first story to feature the Cybermen as well. So it's got a lot going for it in that aspect, because it's got Doctor Who's probably second most popular villain, monsters rather, just behind the Daleks, and it's also got the first regeneration and whatnot. And yeah, it's just got all that to do with it. Now, some people criticise this story for the design of the Cybermen, and I'll start with that first. Along with their voices, people say they're kind of like too sing-songy, too ridiculous. The costumes look really bad, and I think from a modern point of view, you could argue that. I mean, but I personally think that these Cybermen are great. They're not my favourite, but I think they are great Cybermen overall, and they look terrifying. When I was younger, they were absolutely terrifying to me. And despite never seeing the story, they look like they could be people, whereas nowadays they look too much like robots. But here they know what they're going for in the Cyberman story. They know that they want them to be humans but partly removed. So they do look like that. They do look like they were once human, and that they were augmented rather than now. They just look like robots, or like, you know, that they've literally been cut out and put into a brain. Whereas here it looks more like a gradual process that took place over time. And I think the design works for the story. It's quite terrifying. It's a bit clunky, I guess, but it looks like they are inside a walking life support machine. It really does, and I think that's basically what the Cybermen are supposed to be. So it's definitely got that going for it, this design. The voice is arguably hilarious and arguably chilling. I think there are some moments where the voice goes a little bit too sing-songy, but there are others where it feels mechanical and artificial enough that it works, but still feels just human, but very off-kilter human, rather than machine, if that makes sense to anyone. I don't know if it does. And to be honest, my favourite Cyberman design is the next one along, the one we see in the 10th planet, and not the 10th planet, the Moon Base, and Tomb of the Cybermen, but the 10th planet one is a very good one nonetheless. And I think it's a shame that they've kind of gone too far away from that, and that people laugh at this design, and I think that's very unfair to this design, because it is a very good one. And I think, you know, it's just really upsetting that people find this design hilarious and bad. But anyway, the story itself, it's almost the same as the Moon Base in a lot of ways. So people call the Moon Base a remake of the 10th planet. But, you know, I think, personally, I find the Moon Base better. But nevertheless, the 10th planet was the original one. And, you know, I think it's very well done. You've got the Arctic base. I think that was very well realised. The idea of space travel and whatnot. And that's all very strong. The Arctic landscape is quite well achieved. It feels quite small. It almost feels like it's in a studio, but I think it's well enough done. And the first appearance of the Cybermen is well done, because you don't see all of them. You just see something in the snow wandering about, and then they slowly get closer. And I think that's great. That reveal was great. And then you got the full-on reveal right at the end of episode 1. And that was a good, strong cliffhanger. You know, it's almost a cliche to reveal the monster at the end of episode 1. You know, you have that a lot in Terry Nation's Dalek stories. He often does that, and there's quite a few other ones that do that. But you know, it works here, and just that face is, you know, it's quite chilling when it just stares into the camera after you see a flesh hand. And that's another thing about the design. They actually have proper human hands, which proves that they're not fully changed yet. But William Hartnell, in his final performance, I think, you know, it's quite unfortunate that he wasn't there to record episode 3 because he had a you know, his illness was kicking in and whatnot, and he just wasn't able to do it. So that was quite unfortunate, and it really did me. And that, along with the absence of him in episode 4, really meant that he didn't really get the finale he deserved in a lot of ways. It's more Ben's story, and you know, I like Ben, so I'm fine with that for the most part. But you know, I think it's not real. You can tell William Hartnell's diminished a lot in his health and whatnot, and he's really tired out from the role. When you compare him in this story to him towards the start of his era and things like the Daleks and an Earthly Child and whatnot, you can tell that he really has kind of like, he's really weakened, but his character has strengthened, and his performance isn't bad. It's just that you can kind of like tell that he's ill in this and whatnot, and that's unfortunate. Nevertheless, it's quite good. Now, of course, episode 4 is missing from the archives, which meant it was animated for the DVD release, which I am basing my review off of. And to be honest, the animation was quite good in this. It's far superior to the animation we had in the Ice Warriors. The Ice Warriors animation was pitiful, to be honest. It just, something about it just jarred and wasn't right at all. But here, it's back at the strength. I think Polly, I'm not sure why, but her eyes feel very weird, especially towards the start. But she improves. But thankfully, she's not in the episode that much. That she's not really there too much, and it's more Ben. And I think the Cybermen in it are very well animated, and they're quite chilling in it. And I think they really have captured the essence of the story with this animation. So yeah, that's good. And then you've got the regeneration at the end, which, you know, is very well done for its time and whatnot. And you kind of like got, you know, you got William Hartnell's face, and it whites out, and then it goes back into focus, and you can see Patrick Troughton's face. I'm not sure why I almost said Peter Capaldi, but yeah, you get Patrick Troughton there, and that's very good, I think, as well. So yeah, you know, the last episode's strong. The first episode's fairly good. The two middle parts are okay. I think episode 3 is a bit let down by the fact that William Hartnell's not in it. Nevertheless, it is a good story. And yeah, supporting characters are quite good. I think Barclay's probably the main takeaway from this. He's the main one you remember. And he's quite a likeable character, and he undergoes a bit of character development. Not too much, but enough. And you know, if you like the character of Ben, then this is probably a good story to get, because he features in this quite well, and he kind of like takes over from the Doctor in episode 3, and does quite a good amount in episode 4, and he really is the one who kind of like has the initiative. And you know, it's kind of like a thing that, you know, people say classic companions in the classic series kind of like, they don't do enough. They're just kind of like there to support the Doctor. But in this, you know, Ben does very well. I mean, he's the one who finds the solutions. He works it out for himself and whatnot. He doesn't rely on the Doctor too much. And I think that's good. You know, I think people, for some reason, just skip over those facts. And yeah, there is quite a lot of that in this. Of course, you do have the kind of thing of Polly making the coffee and whatnot, but you know, it's not perfect. And to be honest, it's not really that meaning making coffee. I mean, if a man made the coffee, no one would go on about how, oh look, they got a man making a coffee. That's good. There's not a woman making a coffee and whatnot. that's strong. It shows that men and women are equal. Whereas if you have a woman making the coffee, then suddenly everyone goes on about it, and I don't entirely get that, you know. So you know, it's one of those things that you can argue about till the cows come home, but that's a saying I never thought I would say, and probably will never say again. Yeah, anyway, it's something that's just gonna go on forever, really. And yeah, it was a bit time, but yeah, I'm not gonna go too in depth in that here. Overall, strong story, creepy Cybermen. You know, the base is well done, a lot of the visuals are well achieved. Mondas was, the idea of the planet coming towards it is good. And you know, I think the plot's fairly strong, and it gets the Cybermen spot on. It is what they were originally envisaged for. And you know, you kind of like got the Cybermen. You know, you can tell they're emotionless, but they let the humans do what they want in the base, just not escape and whatnot or warn the authorities. So you know, they're not really like ruthless robots in this. They are still and they try to save the humans. That's what they come down to do. And you know, you kind of like got that amoral thing where they want to save them. They don't want to kill the humans there. They want to help them. They think they're helping them by bringing them back to Mondas. They're a bit confused about why the humans wouldn't want that. Want to become like them and wouldn't want to live forever. So yeah, I think he got everything right in this story for the most part. You know, it does have its flaws because I mean, unfortunately, William Hartnell couldn't do his best performance in his last outing. You know, really give them something to remember him for. But you know, it couldn't really be helped. And yeah, I think overall it's a great story, and I will give it an 8 out of 10. I think maybe a 9, but I think I'm going to stick with 8. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Next week's review will of course be Deep Breath if all goes to plan. And in the meantime there will be the top 10 and the Big Finish review during the week. So thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.